Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to take a look at how you can sign up for a demo account, install the MT5 trading platform, or MT5, as it's commonly named for short, and connect it to your new personal demo account you have just opened with one of the best brokers in Europe, namely Just to Trade. First things first, let's sign up. Go to our website, justtotrade.online. You probably already knew about that one. And find the blue button in the top right corner, conveniently named Demo. Click on that one and go to the next web page, which will allow us to open a brand new demo account. Now over here, let's sign up as a mysterious this John doesn't exist. And let's select a password for the demo private office. This is the password that you're going to be using to log in to your personal private area, to control of your demo accounts, real account, and so on and so forth from now on. And let's make it a very hard password, literally. Email at test.com. Obviously, you want to use your own details over here. A Cyprus number, because why not? Tick that check button and click on register. Now let's wait until it's loaded, and effectively we're done. This is effectively the area where, as I mentioned, you'll be able to check all the demo accounts, real accounts, once you are going to have any, as well as to configure your profile, should you ever need to change anything in the future. More on that later on. For now, all we need over here is the demo account number, which you can see over here, and the password, which you can find by clicking this conveniently placed Show Password button. For the convenience sake, it's usually identical to your phone number, which you're going to be using for your first demo account registration. Something to keep in mind. Now, we've got to download the actual trading platform now, because you can use the web version. For example, if you click on the trade, it will redirect you directly to the web terminal, and if once again you use the password, which you can find over here, you can log in directly to the web terminal. However, I personally couldn't recommend it, as for a whole bunch of technical reasons, it's a bit slower than the actual real demo account, which you're using with the actual trading platform which you download on your PC. So if you can, by all means, download the MetaTrader 5 to your computer, to your Windows machine, install it, and connect to your demo account over there. If for any reason you cannot do that, you get to use a Mac, or you're using Linux or some other operating system, you need effectively to access your account, but you cannot do that from a Windows machine. By all means, use the web terminal. It works just as fine, just going to be a bit slower. Now, let's download the MetaTrader 5 then. Let's wait until it finishes up downloading. Yeah, let me pause this video for a moment, wait until it's done, and get back to you right away. Now the file has finished downloading. You can see it over here. We've got Just to Trade 5 setup. Click on that one, go through the installation procedure, uncheck the MQL5 community tick box, because you don't really need to be subscribed to it. In any case, I'm not going to follow through the instructions of the setup because I already have the terminal installed, but go through the whole of the procedure, install it, and let's get back directly to the actual terminal. Now, once your terminal is launched, it will most probably look something like this. It can give you some pop-up windows, which is effectively what you need, but the actual terminal window is going to look somewhat like this. A bit scary for someone who's never seen it before. For those who are a bit more familiar, of course, there's nothing really to be scared of, but let's go through it piece by piece. Let's connect, first of all, our terminal to our demo account, so we can start trading with our virtual money. And let's configure the terminal just a little bit to make it a bit nicer, a bit more comfortable, and a bit more understandable also. So first of all, to connect to our demo account, first of all, use this pop-up window in order to make things a bit simpler. It will ask you to effectively choose the broker with which you'd like to trade over here. In our case, of course, it's going to be just a trade online limited. Click on that one. Click next. Now here you don't want to say that you want to open another demo account. Doesn't really work. We've got a bunch of security measures for that one. So you'd rather want to go for connect, third option, which is connect with an existing trade account. Here it's going to ask you for your login and the password. And if you remember, here we do have our account number and the password. So the account number is actually the login, which the terminal is asking us for. So let's copy these 6 numbers. Let's paste them over here. And let's also copy and paste the password. Or you can also type directly your phone number starting from 0. But I find it much more conveniently personally to simply copy and paste it directly. Here we go. Click on that finish button, wait for it to load. Pay attention to the bottom right corner of the screen, because once it shows you some numbers start going high, it means the data connection was established and we can proceed. Now, to make this a bit simpler still, let's make it full screen. All of these panels you see over here, first of all, they're completely draggable. So what I personally like to do is to drag this time frame button panel, as it's called. This one actually allows us to see the different chart zoom modes. So for example, you can see what's going on a minute-to-minute basis, what's going on from 15-minute to 15-minute basis. We'll get back to that in a moment. Now, to make things even prettier, you'd want to close this strategy tester window in case you have it, because you're probably not going to be using it. Switch over here from mailbox to trade. Make it a bit smaller for the convenience sake. And here you'll be able to see at all times what's your balance, what's your equity, what's the free margin on your account. Now, you can also leave these windows as they are, but once again, personal preference is to make them go full screen so they can take the whole box over here. And let's connect some instruments. So first of all, in the top left corner, you're also probably going to see a data window. You don't really need it that much. I'm going to show you how you can see the specification for different types of instruments a bit later. So close that one, and let's focus on the market watch. So over here, you'd want obviously to add the instruments, the assets, the currency pairs, the stocks, cryptocurrencies, whatever you'd like to trade, whatever you'd like to try. Here is where you're going to be doing it. So over here, it's asking you either to click to add, but once again, personal preference, and what I find most people prefer, with whom I'm working with, is to once again go right click anywhere in the market watch and go to symbols. You can also use the keyboard, as you can see, Ctrl U works just as fine, but let's do it with the mouse for convenience sake. And here we go. Now, the window that is going to pop up is actually very, very convenient, because first of all, it shows you all of the different assets that you can possibly trade, starting from Forex. Forex is yen. Of course, we're using CurrentX network as usual. Commodities, indices, we've got futures, you've got cryptos, you've got stock markets, anything from USA to Canada, Spain, Japan, Mexico, you name it, we do it. CFD, got bonds, got some IPOs, why not? And crypto exchange as well. So let's say we'd like to try our hand on Forex. So let's go to euro dollar. Let's find it over here. If you're having some trouble finding any kind of particular instrument, by the way, you can always go to the top of the tree and let's say find euro dollar. Here, it's actually going to tell you all the different options for the different assets that you have. So you might have the actual euro USD as currency pair. Here it would be a forward contract. So click 2 times on that one. It's going to be added to the terminal, market watch, over here, as you see. If you'd like to trade it, for example, as a future, you got that option as well. Mini futures, usual futures, whatever you like. If you know how to trade it, by all means, add it to the platform, experiment. If not, perhaps see for yourself, give it a try. Why not? Now, here, once you've added effectively all of the instruments that you'd like to experiment with, let's add Aussie, let's add the British pound, what else? could be useful. Now you don't want the Turkish lira, probably Japanese yen. And let's select some stocks perhaps as well. Let's go to USA. For the most commonly traded stocks, you'd want to go to stock markets, USA. Nice Nasdaq S&P 100, so the biggest, most liquid companies over there. And let's add, well, where could you go without Tesla of Elon? And let's go with Microsoft. It's not the same Microsoft it was during the Bill Gates times, but hey, still Microsoft. So now that you've added effectively the instruments that you want, oh, but by the way, let's add some cryptocurrencies as well. So we've got the crypto, let's add Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, and I'm not fine with Litecoin, but let's add it over there as well, because why not? So once you've got your instruments in place, once you've got your assets in place, you've decided what you would like to experiment with, you'd like to follow along. Now it's time to actually see what's going on the chart. Now for that, you've got a couple of options. First of all, you can click once again with a right click on anywhere, on the assets that you're interested in, and select the second option, which is going to be chart window. If you don't have such an option, or if you don't like it very much, such is my case, you can simply select the instrument that you'd want to use. Let's go with the BTC USD and simply drag it from the market watch window into the chart window. So what I'm doing over here, you probably don't see the mouse, but I click, left click on the instrument that I want to trade with, I drag it to the chart window and I let it go. The chart is going to pop up automatically and you can follow along from here. Now, over here, what I personally also like to do is to shift this chart just a little bit to the left, because it's not really convenient to see what's going on in the actual upmost right position of the screen. So what you can do over here is you can find it over here. There's going to be a small icon with a blue arrow, and if you click on that one, what it's going to do is that it's going to actually translate the chart to the left, which makes it much easier to see what's going on. Highly recommend. Now, if you enjoy this kind of venomous colors, so to speak, or if your screen doesn't happen to be bright enough and you actually need a chart like this in order to see what's going on, by all means, leave it be. For the rest of us, you probably want to change the colors, and hopefully as soon as possible. So to do that, click anywhere on the chart with the right mouse button and select the last many options that you have, which is called conveniently properties. Come over here, and over here, once again, if you're already familiar with some types of the chart, for example, if you don't prefer candles but you prefer bar charts, you can do that. You can stick to lines. That's what you wish. Don't pay much of attention to the rest. It's not really that much of a use. And switch from the first tab that you see over here, it's called common, switch to the third one, which is called colors. Now here, the best thing to do, for me personally, is to change the scheme either to black and white to make it standard, old school, I guess, or to color on white, which I personally prefer a bit better. I'm going to go with the color on white. You can go with black on white. See what works for you the best. Click that OK button, and effectively you can see it's already much better, much more consistent in terms of the theme of the terminal, and we can go from here. So we've actually added the Bitcoin traded in US dollars on an hourly chart over here. If you prefer to switch the time frame, for example, you want to see what's going on from minute to minute basis, you'd have to go to your, once again, time frame panel and reach, for example, from H1, which effectively stands for 1 hour chart, to M1, which would stand for minute to minute chart. You can go with daily, you can go to hourly, 4 hours, 15 minutes, minute, whatever works for you. Now, depending on how much experience effectively you already have or not, you can start trading right away. You've got the conveniently placed one-click trading over here, sell or buy. You've got the lot to configure, you can do over that. If not, once again, no problem. The most standard method to open any kind of new position is via this particular button. It's called New Order. For example, if we'd like to trade on the Bitcoin, with virtual money of course, we'd click on New Order, or we'd press F9 on the keyboard, but I prefer to use the mouse. And here we'd go to configure our position. So first of all, it's going to ask us for a volume in lots. Let's go for 001. Stop loss, well, for example, would be buying at the price of 11,830 with a bid of 808. And let's place, for example, a stop loss at what kind of price we could place it? Let's say 800 with a take profit at 900, because why not? Comment. If you want to be able to track your positions a bit better, you can add a comment. If not, no worries. Recheck your position. If we're going for exchange execution, we are done. Click on that buy button, and here we go. The order was placed. Now, as you can see, the actual chart in the MT5, for the most part, it's built using the bid price, but since on any of the instruments traded on the financial markets, you get both the bid and the ask price. So the bid price is the price at which other people are willing to sell an asset. The bid price at which you'll be going to, pardon me, that's not exactly correct. The ask price is the price at which people are willing to sell it to you, and the price at which you're going to be effectively buying your asset, while the bid price is the price at which other people are willing to buy the asset back from you, in case you have it. It's a bit more complicated than that, but that's essentially the gist of it. Now that we've opened effectively the position, oh, by the way, another thing you can do is to go to Properties, go to the second tab over here, Show, and you can tell it to show you the ask price line. Also quite convenient. So this way you're going to be seeing it effectively when are you going to be buying the asset, at what price, and what kind of distance does it have to go through, first of all, before you see any actual profit. That's already the specifics of the markets and everything else. What we wanted to do in this video was to sign up for a demo account, and effectively we managed to do that quite successfully. Over here, we get our demo account, get the number, get the password. Everything's right, everything's dandy. We've downloaded the MetaTrader 5 trading platform, we've installed it, hopefully you did too, and we've connected it to our personal demo account. So now we can see and talk about all the other beautiful stuff, what's going on in the financial markets. Over here, we can add a ton of other new instruments, USA, UK, bonds, IPOs, indices, futures, whatever you name it, we do it. And you're ready to start experiment. Ready to start to experiment a little bit. Now, in the next video, what I think we'll do is we'll go through more specific things about how the MetaTrader 5 works, what kind of order tabs do you have, how do you place stops, how do you place take profits, how do you enable trailing stops, if you're into that kind of thing, and we'll take it from there. For now, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Leave any comments. Talk to you soon.